Aretha had a chance to connect last night. We had a chance to connect last night at a beautiful, wonderful open house over at the VA hospital. Zoe was the host and she did an outstanding job. Oh my goodness, I was in awe.
You're too kind.
I try to be. All right, guys, look, we have a small bunch here, but believe you me, this is going to be one of the best contest trainings you have ever seen. I've seen all of those online, and in my opinion, most of them are too much information. So before we begin, I think for the most part, we've already met each other. Who here, besides Perry and Doretha and Rhiannon, has participated in a speech contest as a contestant? Raise your hand. As a contestant. No one. Oh, Anthony, contestant. Okay, good stuff. And Zoe, you too? Okay. And how did you guys make out? First, second, third? Did you win the world champion public speaking? Okay. Second in what, Anthony? Your club or area, division? What?
It was, I think it was in the area.
Okay. You are the man. Okay. And Zoe, what about you?
I was at second in the area.
Holy smokes. I am here with some stark competitions here. All right. Now, and see Curran, we can see the top of your head. Can't quite see you. There we go. How are you? How you doing? Okay, I can see your mouth moving, but nothing's coming out. Okay, while you're
there we go.
there we
Sorry,
go.
I couldn't find my button.
How are you?
Good.
Okay, good. And where do you come from? What is your first name?
Carol Curran,
Oh,
3267, Club 32
Carol Curran.
in
The
Virginia.
competitor Carol Curran?
The competitor Carol Curran.
No way. You look totally different. I'm used to seeing you in your cowboy hat.
Lots of spots, right? Exactly.
Where's the cowbell?
Oh man. Yeah, where's the
Or
cowbell? For those of you who
cowbell.
don't know, Carol competed last year and she wore a cow dress and a cowboy hat. She was all in it to win it. Matter of fact, you were our Tall Tales winner last year, right? Yeah, hot diggity dog. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, what we're going to do here, guys, because we have such a small group, Charles Robinson, how are you, sir? Please, if you can, take yourself off. Let us see your smiling face. And other than the one and only Sandra Davis. Oh, my goodness. The pressure is on here. I'm feeling it. I'm getting jittery. I'm getting nervous. I'm feeling the butterflies in the stomach. But what we're going to talk about, God, I'm going to share my screen very quick. But, before I do that, I want to ask a few more questions. Who here has, okay, we found out who participated as a contestant. Who here participated as a role player in any kind of contest from the club all the way up to the district? Any of those levels? Okay. Besides Doretha and Perry, you guys don't count. Whenever I ask questions, I'm not paying you all any attention. This is for everybody else. Okay. Hey, Sandra Davis, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing well. And we have the one and only Tanya. What's going on? Madam Division A Director. Wow, we've got some dignitaries in the house. Charles Robinson, what's up in your world?
Everything's good. Everything's good over here.
All right, beautiful. What club you belong to? Remind me.
Peninsula Powerhouse Speakers.
Ah, okay, the Whoop Whoop Club. Okay, I got you. All right. And what we're going to talk about here, guys, for the next hour, this is going to be one of the best speech con trainings you've ever seen. I've seen those online, and to me, they are information overload. Rule number one: read the rule book if you have any indication, any chance of joining any type of speech club at any kind of speech contest at any level. Get familiar with the rule book. Even if you read it before, read it again, because every year there's something in it that has changed from the year before. Okay, so pay attention to that. Now, that's rule. I'm not going to show you rules or any of that stuff. What we're going to be showing and sharing today is an overview of speech contest. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to give you an overview of the speech contest. Let's see, make sure I do this thing right. Let's do this. All right, can you guys see that? Beautiful. Okay. Now, why do you think I say that? Why do you think this is entitled Speech Contest, Our Connection to the World? Besides Aretha and Perry, why do you guys think? What do you think? Why did I put down there Our Connection to the World?
Well, at least within TI, the speech contests bring together all of the different clubs all around the world.
Okay, that's one reason. Anyone else have an opinion why it's called that? Well, why I deemed it or titled it this way? Any idea? What do you think?
I guess as you advance through your contest, I'm getting familiar with this, but I guess as you advance through your contest, you are eventually will be competing against people internationally. So individuals from different nations, and that's our connection.
Okay, we'll take that. But the reason I say that, why do you think, Perry? Why do you think I title this Our Connection to the World?
I kind of agree with what everybody said. It's how, these are supposed to be events that people get invited to, and everybody's heard of the World Championship of Public Speaking.
Exactly. The reason I say this is because we undervalue speech contests. What do I mean by that? Most of our clubs do not do speech contests. That's a reality. Most clubs in this entire organization, not just District 66, which we're a part of, most clubs do not involve themselves in speech contests, which to me is a travesty. Why? Because it shows what we do to the world. Let me ask you a question and understand, listen, two rules with Charles Gates training. Number one, I am not a talking head. I like to talk to you. I can't see you when I'm sharing my screen, so you're going to have to just blurt it out, if you will. If I ask someone a question or ask a question, if you happen to answer the questions, please be mindful of table topics rules. Make it short, sweet, to the point. No dissertations, no lectures. Answer the question and go back on mute. Okay, we agree? Gotcha. Okay, here we go. The reason I say that is our connection to the world. I want you to think about this. I want to be serious here for a moment. When you have a contest, whether it's in the club, the area, division, or even district, do you compete in that contest by yourself? At the club level, you may. But when you go to the area, don't you want to let your family, your friends, and everyone know that I'm in this contest, this big deal contest with Toastmasters? You're going to tell people. They're going to come. Chances are you're going to bring your family. Your family has probably never, ever been exposed to anything Toastmasters besides what you tell them. How was that meeting at Toastmasters? Oh, it was wonderful. Oh, okay. But when they see you in action, it opens up doors that many, many of our participants of these contests want to be a part of. Again, it is our connection to the world, especially when you rise up in these different levels, the area, the division, and the district, especially when you get to the quarterfinals and all of that above the district level. It's a big deal. Treat it as such. And as Perry said, treat it as an event, not just a club contest, if you will. Now, here's the who. Who is this for? Who gets the benefits of Toastmasters contest? And I'm not going to insult your intelligence by reading this stuff to you. You want to challenge? You want to be more visible and impactful? As a contestant, involve yourself in a Toastmasters speech contest. If you do not want to compete, and Sandra, you can probably attest to this. Sandra Davis was our sergeant at arms at our spring conference last year. Sandra, how was that experience for you?
It was very enlightening for me. I learned a lot about speech contests, and I also got to speak in front of an audience, which is an entirely different experience from when we're doing our club meetings, because our club is a virtual club and we are all online. So that gave me a different experience that I was able to share with the club, which has led to the club doing some other in-person type things.
Beautiful. And Michelle, as our chief judge in that contest, what was your experience like?
I thought it was outstanding. I really enjoyed it. I was a nervous wreck, so it challenged me there. I love the camaraderie of everyone that participated, attended, and enjoyed the event. It was wonderful.
Well, good. See, these are new experiences, which leads to the last bullet there. Toastmasters want to practice organizing events. There was a lot of planning involved. They were part of the planning process from the beginning, the middle, and the end. Guys, let me tell you something. If you involve yourself in a speech contest and you take it seriously, it can change the way you look at the organization as a whole. It just can and it will if you allow it to. Okay? So that's who it's for. It's also for those outside of Toastmasters. I didn't put that in there, but it's for those outside of Toastmasters. Shoot, how's this thing moving? I should be advancing to the next screen. Of course, it's not. Let's just try it out. There we go. Now, what is the benefits of a Toastmaster contest? Michelle and Sandra, would you say it maximized to a certain degree your Toastmaster experience beyond the club? Sure, it did.
It absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
Organized competition between members. That's what a Toastmaster contest is all about. You get to compete with other people in your area, in your division, in your district, and if you go beyond there, you get to compete against others around the world. It is a big, big deal. We have individuals in our district right now. For those of you who know Joan Bowling represented us in Chicago, Illinois at a world champion public speaking contest we had, and she did very well. Another member we had was Elliot Eddy. He got to the finals. He didn't win the finals, but he won his semifinal match. That's a big deal. It's a life-changing experience. So think about being a part of that. We have 4 levels of contests. It starts at the club, area, division, and district. And of course, the international speech contest goes beyond that. And why do we do this? As individuals, it gives us a chance to improve our communication. We get to watch other people do their thing. It's a valuable experience outside of the club. And again, it's our opportunity, I'm going to say this loud and proud, to introduce Toastmasters to the world. That's what it's all about. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a bit over the top. I'm always like this. So this is what I am. So just deal with me. When do we do these? The club contests ideally are held in in February. The areas are held in March. The divisions, for the most part, are held in April. And usually the district contests are held in May. Sometimes they're in April. It depends on what the trio of the district decides when they want to have these different contests. Now, where should you have these contests? This is a question of debate for a lot of us. Some of us have our club contests in broom closets. That's probably not the best place to have a club contest. But there are many, many options for you in terms of identifying a location to have your contest in. You can have it in your club. Think about rec centers. Rec centers to nonprofits are free. Community centers. A lot of these communities now are brand new. They got these big fancy houses in there. One of our members probably lives there. Ask them, can they host us for a speech contest? It brings awareness to the community, and it's a good thing all around, especially to the member who is inviting us into their neighborhoods and into their worlds. Libraries, if you're going to have it at a library, make sure you reserve it well in advance. And lastly, not lastly, but churches as well. If you're a member of a church or you happen to be connected with a church, ask them, can they host a speech contest? Now, some people feel a little iffy about going into churches, so be careful with that. But for the most part, we have clubs that are in churches. The first club I belonged to was Western Branch.
Uh-oh.
Charles, you froze up. Charles, you froze up right after you said you hold your meetings in Western Branch.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I have no control over that. Hopefully, I won't. Your internet is unstable. Oh, that's not good. Let's hope it holds up. Okay. But anyway, my first club was at Western Branch. They were in the church. They've been around since 1950. So don't be hesitant to think about hosting a contest, even if it's a club contest, in a church. You have plenty of places you can go. Now, how do you run a a contest at any level? You must plan early. I said before, in terms of the libraries, if you want to have your contest at a library, you have to plan those out sometimes months in advance because they book up. Because we don't want to be in a broom closet. We don't want to be in a place that only holds 10 people. We want to be in a theater or a bigger room. It is popular. It's usually free, which means you have to take the time to plan early to get there. Challenge your new members to participate. Rhonda and I had a conversation earlier, just a brief conversation. She is brand new and looking to get involved in Toastmasters. She's hungry to learn. And Rhonda, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but this is what we do. But here's her chance. And Rhonda, I'm talking directly to you. Think about participating in a club contest, not particularly as a contestant, but as a participant, as a ballot counter or some role that you can play where you don't have to have much experience. We'll get to that as we go on. Again, read the rule book. You may have read it 10 times before, but there's something that's going to be different this year than last year. It always is. There's always a rule change, sometime for the good, sometime for the better, sometime not so much. And remember, talk it up. We don't do enough talking it up in Toastmasters, and District 66 is no different. We have to talk about the power of these speech contests from the rooftop, because the reality is, as I said before, many clubs do not participate in speech contests. And I think that's terrible, but they just don't. And that's just the reality of the situation. But I want you to also look at this. These are some of the responsibilities. Oh, shoot. Hold on. These are some of the responsibilities of some of your players. When we talked about how to organize a contest, these are some of the key roles that play a part in a club, area, division, and district contest. And these are some of their responsibilities. The contest chair is overall responsible for the contest. They're overall responsible. That's all I'm going to say about that. They do the room arrangements. They order materials sometime in collaboration with the district or with the club or division or area, wherever they happen to be. They ensure that all paperwork is in order. Now, none of these are etched in stone. These are the general responsibilities. They can be passed on to someone else, given that this is a team environment. The chief judge briefs the judges, timers, and the counters. They tally the ballots and the counters. The contest master is actually called the contest Toastmaster now. I didn't put that in there, but it's called the contest Toastmaster. I think that sounds kind of crazy, but it is what it is. They, for the most part, their responsibilities are to brief the contestants. They determine the speaking order. The speaking order can be determined any which way you want to. A flip of a coin. Usually we have a little hat there with some numbers in it. All the contestants pick a number out of a hat, and that determines the speaking order. However, the contest master deems necessary is what they do. Okay, there's nothing etched in stone where you must do it this way, must do it that way. And lastly, under contest master, this part right here, provide scripts for all participants. I'll say that again. Provide scripts for all participants. If you've ever been to a contest without a script, you know when it's not scripted, because usually it's a disaster. People are just talking off the cuff. They're saying what they think they should be saying. But if you have a script, then the script goes to anyone that has a speaking role in the contest, excluding the contestants, obviously. Anyone who has a speaking role, provide them with the script. Make sure that everyone is on board with the script. They know exactly what to say. They know when to say it. They know how to say it. And then you're sergeant at arms. Again, this is up for interpretation. Sometimes they open the contest up. Sometimes it's the contest chair. Sometimes it's the contest Toastmaster. It's up to the discretion of the contest chair how that's going to happen. I was a contest chair for the conference last year. I decided I wanted a sergeant at arms because it gives more Toastmasters an opportunity to speak to an audience that they would otherwise not have the opportunity to do. That's why I like sergeant at arms. Now, when you have this year, along with the International Speech Contest, the district has chosen to participate in table topics. So our other contest this year is going to be table topics. This is where our sergeant at arms comes in handy as well, because in table topics, the contestants, oh, wait a minute, no, they don't. No, they don't have to be escorted. But when you have, for example, the evaluation contest, once the test speaker speaks, all of the contestants must leave the room and the sergeant at arms is the person that leads them and makes sure that there's no shenanigans happening. And they're also the one that sequesters them back into the speaking area when it's time for them to speak. Okay. Protect entrance and exit. What I mean by that is once our contests begin, we don't want people walking in and walking out doing speeches. So therefore, the sergeant at arms and sometimes the sergeant at arms team. If there's a multiple doors there, sometimes we like to have more than one. There's one sergeant at arms, and that person has a team that they direct to watch the doors, make sure no one comes in and comes out, because not every location allows you to lock the doors. And when that happens, we need physical bodies there to say, don't come in right now. Please wait until the speech is done. Not the speech contest, but the speech is done. And then, as we talked about before with the evaluation contest, they escort the contestants out of the room and into the room. Now, judges, what do judges do? For the most part, there are, how many judges do we need? I'm trying to think of the number. There's a certain number. There's 5 judges at the club and area level that when practical, and then there's 7 or more when you go above the area level. 2 ballot counters, 2 timers. The responsibility of the judges, and you must have a certain level. You must have level 1 and level 2 completed in your pathways or DTM to qualify as a judge, at least at a minimum. They determine the first, second, third winners, and then judges are anonymous. I know when practical, they're anonymous, but we always know who they are. But we try to pretend that they're anonymous. Now, when you're in a larger setting, they really are anonymous. You don't know who they are. The timers, they record the times, and the times are, that's why we do timing in our clubs. But when we get to the contest, we know how to do it, and we are a stickler for time. If you are 1 second off of the end time, you can be disqualified. If you don't speak long enough, you can be disqualified. Timers are responsible for making sure that the records are kept straight when it comes to recording the times. And then when they're done, they submit these forms to the chief judge. They don't get up. The chief judge comes to them and takes their sheets back and tallies everything up. Again, the counters are also called ballot counters. They tally the ballots with the chief judge, and this is my little deal here: sit strategically throughout the room. So many times, all the ballot counters are in one spot. Position yourself throughout the room. Ideally, we have 3 of them. Ideally, we have 3, sometimes 2, but even if it's 2, one on the one side of the room, one on the other side of the room, so they can be strategically arranged for when the judges hold up their ballots, they can come around and grab them smoothly instead of walking all the way across some room somewhere. And then the tie-breaking judge, if needed, they're secretly chosen by the chief judge and only known to the chief judge. Are there any questions up to this point? Okay, hearing none, we will continue.
Charles.
Yes.
This is Rhiannon, and I just wanted to add that I think the judges should sit where they can see and hear best. Is that right?
Yes, and I will be covering that as well. Yep, I got you. Now, when it comes to contest briefings, there are 2 briefings that are done. The contest Toastmaster does one. The rule book said it's the contest chair, but ideally, as a chair, I'm going to give that responsibility as a chair to the contest Toastmaster. Why? Because I want that person to learn how to run a contest. Now, if you look at the rule book, it says the contest chair conducts the briefings. I don't want to do that. Let the contest master do it, because ideally they are the TMOD, the Toastmaster of the day for the contest. Verify, making sure the people are there. And this is important. Name pronunciations. When you get a person with a name that might not be easy to pronounce, make sure that when you are the contest master and you are presiding, you spell their name out phonetically. I met a young lady the other day. Her name was Ortego. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. I happened to be the moderator for a political panel. I wasn't sure how to pronounce her name. She told me, think of or to go, like a dine in or dine out. You can dine in, or you can get it. You can or to go. I said, oh, or to go. And that's how I wrote her name down, or to go. So when I had to mention her name, there was no chance of me destroying her name in front of a huge audience that was almost expecting perfection. Make sure you do that right. Review the rules with them, just a brief overview, making sure they understand the rules and the timing protocols. Physically go over the speaking area. Carol, you can attest to this. They're going to walk through the area to say, okay, you cannot go past this point. You cannot exceed past this point. And on the left, right or left side, please don't go past that point, because if you do, you can be disqualified because you've been briefed on where the speaking area is. Okay. Test any AV equipment and any props. Now, when it comes to props, remember there's 1 minute of silence in between each speaker. When you have props, it is your responsibility to get those props onto the table, onto the stage during that 1 minute cycle. And it's your responsibility to get your props off of the stage within that 1 minute window, not 1 minute and 2 seconds, but 1 minute. Get them in, get them out. So in other words, don't bring a couch in there that takes 4 people to carry off. Make it short, sweet, to the point, and make it punch. And then lastly, during the briefing, you want to draw for speaking order. And then next is the chief judge. The chief judge, again, Rihanna, this is what, to your point, advise the judges to sit where they can fully observe you. Don't sit in the back of the room where you can only see their heads. Make sure you can see them from head to toe. Every move they make, you're watching for, because the ballot asked you. What are you grading a person on in this particular area? So make sure you can fully see them. I know I shouldn't have to say that, but I do. I've seen judges sit all the way in the back of the room and Lord knows they couldn't see a thing but the top of the person's head. Then we have to go up there and tell them, hey, look, man, move. Okay. Review judges, guys, ballots and timing forms. Make sure they understand how it's done. And you get most of that signed. Let me let somebody in. You get most of that signed before the contest begins, especially with the judges' guides. And what we like to encourage you to do, all the judges, because the judging sheets are on pieces of paper, is perforated at the bottom. Usually it's just copied, so it's really not perforated, but there is a perforated line there. We usually advise, because the contest event itself is going to be very silent. And there's nothing worse when the judge is trying to be anonymous than when it's time for all the speakers to get done and the judges are filling out their forms and it's time to turn them into the ballot. You hear this. You can avoid that by ripping most of it off before the contest begins. So it's, for the most part, just hanging on a string. So when it's time for the ballots to be turned into the ballot counters, all you hear is a instead of a. And we've all heard it. Like, oh, that must be one of the judges. Okay, that's a little thing, but the little things equal big things. Shoot. Okay. Okay, I think this was the next one. Yep. Now, here we go with the contest itself. The contest has begun. After the dignitaries are recognized, and I know sometimes we scramble around this, who are the dignitaries in the room? Who are the dignitaries in the room? Whenever you go above the club level, chances are there's going to be someone in the room that respects, that should get recognized. If Perry Neal was happened to be there, you see the letters behind Perry's name, not the DTM, but Perry is the past region advisor. Perry is considered a dignitary in the district. Wherever he goes, he should be recognized in the contest. After the dignitaries are recognized, if any of the trio members are there, okay, I know he's on the soapbox now, but whatever the trio was there, for example, the club growth director, the program quality director, or our esteemed district director, whenever they are there present in your contest, please recognize them. It's only the right thing to do when it's part of protocol. It's not mentioned in the rule books, but it's just something that we do because it's the right thing to do.
Hey, Charles.
Yes, sir.
We're at a contest and I'm competing. What's done? You're muted. You're still muted. There you go.
All right, got it?
if you're at a contest and I'm competing and Anthony looks out and he says, "Oh, I want to recognize all the past district directors and the past region advisors."
Got it. Good question. Because if any of the dignitaries, especially past, well, the current dignitaries cannot compete. But if you are a past dignitary and you are competing, do not recognize them. There will be a chance during the contest after everything's done where you can recognize this person's accomplishments. But to Perry's point, if he is competing, do not recognize him because we want to make it a clear and fair competitive stage where everyone is judged the same. Some people may say, well, oh, this guy is a past region advisor. He must be good, and give him extra credit because he has that. That is not allowed and that is not fair. So therefore, do not recognize him until the time is right in the contest. Remember, no remarks about any contestants. You can't say that your club mate, hey, that's my man from my club. I know he's going to do real good. None of that. All you're announcing is contestant's name, title again, and name. For example, Perry Neal, the time has come. The time has come. Perry Neal. That's it. Very short, sweet, and to the point. Now, what do you do after the speeches? What do you do after the speeches? Let's say there's two contests. This year we're having the Tall Tales and International Speech Contest. Let's say the Tall Tales contest is done. We still have to do the International Speech Contest, but we're taking a little break in between. Tall Tales contest is done. Speeches, all the contestants have finished speaking. Now, this is something that I put in here. Counters, if you are ever a ballot counter, as soon as they finish speaking, please stand and be quiet. The last contest we went to, I remember I had to wait until they looked at me and said, okay, stand. To avoid that, immediately upon the last speech, during a minute of silence, you can stand up and just be very, very quiet. No talking, no nothing, and simply waiting for the judges to hold up their ballots so you, as a ballot counter, can come around and collect from the judges. And again, you won't hear the from the piece of the paper. At the briefing before the contest, the ballot counters, please get to know your judges, and judges, please get to know your ballot counters so they know who you are. The chief judge will walk around and collect the timing sheets, and then they will leave the room to tally the votes. During that time, the votes sometimes they take a little while to tally, especially if it's a really contested, really good contest. It may take a while. It may take a while for those results to come back. So what do we do instead? In the meantime, we conduct interviews. Each contestant, and Carol, you know this better than most, you turn in a bio sheet to the contest chair. That person gives it to the contest Toastmaster. When that person has that, they use it for your interviews. It has questions on there such as, what do you like to do in your spare time? What are your hobbies? How long you been a Toastmaster? But before we get to all of that, please, in all contests, please ask these two questions. How long have you been a Toastmaster, and what club are you representing? Now, why do we need to ask these questions? Number one, how long you been a Toastmaster? If you've been a Toastmaster for a while, people can be in awe, like, oh, wow, really? This person's been a Toastmaster for 20 years? That's a big deal. Maybe I can get to that point at some point. And what club are you representing? Chances are you're not going to be there alone. Your club's going to be there in support of you. So when you mention them, and you're gonna mention it with some zest in your voice. What club are you representing? Well, I'm representing the Voices of Williamsburg. And your clubs are gonna go, yeah, my guy, my girl. So it's a chance for your club to get involved in the process. Again, it's not just a Toastmaster speech contest, it's an event. And it's meant for everyone to participate in at some level and really, really enjoy themselves and immerse themselves into the process. That's one of the ways that you can do that. The contest master doing the contest interviews also presents the certificates of participation, and read the room if you are the contest master, because sometimes it's long. And I've seen times, and I know some of you have seen times where they ask one or two questions to the interviewees, and then they have them sit down, and then we're sitting there for 10 minutes waiting on something else to happen. Okay. If you see that the judges are nowhere near done, either extend the interviews. There's a lot of questions that you could ask them on that bio sheet. There's a lot of questions you could ask. Just make sure you give ample time to each one of the participants. And then if any dignitaries happen to be there, especially the trio members, ask them to say a few words. They don't have a choice. They either volunteer to say something or they get voluntold. This is Toastmasters. Trios, they're always going to want to say something. They're going to want to tell you about the conference coming up. They want to tell you about the SLI, the WLI. There's something happening in the district that they're going to be proud to share with you. This is the time for them to do so. Just make sure that they are short, sweet, and to the point. And trio members, you know better. Or division or area directors. It's time for them to say something as well.
Hey,
Now,
Charles,
when it comes, yes, sir.
regarding the interviews,
Yeah.
always ask the same number of questions to all the contestants. And I'm competing in both the table topics and the international speech contest.
Good question.
Yeah.
Now, if you're competing in both contests, let's say Perry's competing in the table topics and international contests. When you do the contest interviews, he will not be interviewed until the international speech contestants are interviewed. If he or she is competing in both contests, do not interview them twice. They only get one round at it, and that will be in the latter contest, not the first, but the second. Okay. Does anyone have any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, we are rolling right along. Wow. Now, contest with 5 or more participants. I'm going to let you read this on your own. And there's a reason we do this. Yes, ma'am.
Charles, I'm sorry,
Yes.
I couldn't turn my microphone on fast enough.
That's okay.
I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. If you have someone that's in both competitions, you only interview them during the second interview?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
In other words, they only get one interview, not 2. Okay. All right. Now, if you see this, the rule book says something a little differently. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to leave that up to you. But when we have 5 or more participants, of course, we're going to announce first, second, and third winners. When there are 4 or fewer participants, ideally, the rule book says you can, if there's 3 contestants, you can mention 1, 2, and 3. Personally, I disagree with that. I think that there's 4 or more participants, you announce the first and second only. Why? Because if there are 4 contestants and you announce a first and second and third winner, how does that make the 4th person feel? So keep that in mind.
Charles, can I present a divergent view on that?
Sure, go
I'll
for
also
it.
support you. I think you could present a first, second, and third. I mean, according to some happiness studies, the second place person is actually less happy than the third place person usually because they know they were that close to first place. But to support your point, we really only need to know the first and second when you're moving up to the next level, because if the first person can't compete at the next level for some reason, then we go to the second person. So maybe, we really only need the first and second.
But again, that can be up to the discretion of the club, the area, or the division, or the district. Okay, let's keep that in mind. I'll leave that off. But good point. I didn't know that. You taught me something I didn't know. Remember, the results are final unless the chief judge or the counters object, and your protests are to be handled by the chief judge and the contest chair. Okay, so if you have any protests, they are handled. Tanya, yes, ma'am.
Quick question: if you only announce 2 on the 4, but then something happens and neither of them can participate in the next level, can you pull the third person?
Yeah, it just goes down the line.
Okay, even if you didn't announce but 2.
Yeah, even if you didn't announce it, you'll still have the sheets with first, second, and third winners on it. Okay. So you will know that. And then that gives them a chance to publicly say, "Hey, listen, this is the third place winner in this instance because they're moving up." It's not a big secret.
Well, even if
Okay.
you don't have the sheets, you still have the notification of winners that you send to
Right.
the next level.
Right. And those are the sheets I'm talking about. You'll have that. You'll have all that information.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Thanks.
All right. I'm missing some stuff. All right, but anyway, what time is it right now? All right, it is 7:42. It is 7:42. Does anyone have any questions about anything so far?
Charles, who can create a protest?
The protest must come from, now, first of all, no one in the audience can protest. The protest can only be lodged, and Perry, help me out here. I don't have a rule book in front of me. Protests can only be lodged
Voting
by,
judges and contestants.
right, judges and contestants, and I believe the counters themselves.
No,
The
just the
counters
voting
themselves.
judges
They were
and the
part of the
contestants are the only people that can lodge
Think so, too.
protests. And it has to be either on originality or, yeah, I think it's originality because everything else is the timers take care of that.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
they can challenge whether they're qualified. We had somebody last year challenge because somebody was so new, they were afraid they hadn't reached level 2 in time.
But they're supposed to fill out that speaker certification
Right.
form that states they're eligible. And there's a contest checker at Toastmasters website that the contest chair
Yeah.
should be using.
Yeah.
She still made the challenge.
Well, what level was that, Michelle? Was that area or division?
That was our combined area
Now, see,
where
that
all
should,
the areas came together.
right. They say that should never happen, because even at the club level, those forms are still a requirement for speech contests. Those type of things should be caught at the club level. Now, I know we don't always have club level contests, and sometimes we send them directly to the area level. And therefore, there can be some things like that that fall through the cracks. But again, those forms are there for the reason to catch things like that, because the ultimate sin will be for this person who's not qualified to win, advance to the next level, and go on. That would give a big black eye to the district, depending on how far in each level they were able to ascend to. So be sticklers for that, guys. I mean, rules are rules. Just be sticklers for that. And remember, members and clubs must be in good standing in order to compete. For example, this is September. When is our dues period? When are our dues due? Who can tell me? When are our next dues due?
September 30.
Exactly. Well, yeah. And if, let's say that you have a contest, say you decide to have a contest, not an international speech contest, but you decide to have a contest next month, and this person has paid their dues, but let's say your contest is scheduled for October 15th, and this person hasn't paid their dues. Are they or are they not in good standing?
They're
They're not.
Can they compete?
no.
No.
No. So be very careful at. Make sure that they are in good standing on the day of the contest, not the preparation period, but the day of the contest.
Well, the rule states that they have to be in good standing for every level at which they competed. So let's say they compete at the club, but then they slip and forget their dues or something, and they win at the area and go on to the division. It's discovered there, they are ineligible.
Exactly. And that is not a good look on anyone. Doritha, you have your hand up?
Yes, and also their eligibility, they need to be in pathways, not the old thing, because we had to turn somebody down last week because they changed the rule book and said that it's pathways level 1 and 2. Before that, competent communicator and whatever the legacy program was, they could compete.
Right. Now, for clarification, they must have completed pathways level 1 and 2 or achieved DTM. They could have achieved DTM through the legacy program and they're still eligible. Level 1 and 2 in pathways or DTM. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, a few more things. I know we're running out of time here, but a few more things I just wanted to go over. International speech is different from the other speeches. And then not the speech itself, the contest is different because all of the tall tales, the evaluations, all the other contests, They stop at the district level. When you win at the district level, you're done. The international level, you have an opportunity to advance. The winner from the district level international speech contest gets to go to the regional quarterfinals. However, it is through a video. It is videotaped at the district level. The video is sent to the regional team, and then the region team, they determine, and they're from all over the world. So it's not people from our area. I know there's people in this district, myself included. We had a chance to be a part of this and had a chance to view people from another country. So there's no bias involved. But they look at the different, you get a series of 10 or 8 or 10 different participants around the world in different districts, and you determine as a team which ones are going to advance. Okay, that's how that works. If you advance, you get to go to the semifinals and at the international speech contest, wherever the international convention may be. This past year was in Philadelphia. And if you win the semifinals, you get to go on to the finals. And at the finals, we crown the world champion of public speaking. So therefore, this is a big deal, guys. This can change your life. If you have an opportunity to involve yourself either as a contestant or participant in the contest, please make sure you do so. And I also want to mention this too. Any areas that have 4 or fewer clubs may send 2 contestants to the area level, depending on the approval of the districts at least 8 weeks prior to the contest. For those of you who don't understand that, if you look at our dashboard in District 66, some of our areas we have 6 clubs, others there are 5, others there are 4. If you happen to be in one of those areas where you only have 4 clubs, depending on the district's recommendation or their blessings, we may be able to send 2 contestants to the area level and beyond, to the area, and I believe 2 to the division. Okay, but it's based on the consensus of the trio's decision, and that decision has to be made at least 8 weeks before the contest. And the area contest on until March, so that should give us plenty of time to make that determination if we're going to do that. And years past, I would just tell you that has worked out very well, in my opinion. It's worked out very well. It's given people an opportunity to compete where otherwise they would not have the opportunity to do so. Okay, when it comes to table topics, that is our other contest this year. The international speech contest in the latter part of the year, that is a mandate. Every district must have a international speech contest. It is the determination of the trio which other contests they want to have. They've decided this year that they're going to have table topics. With table topics, the subject of the table topic is determined by the contest chair. Okay, if the contest chair wants to get that responsibility to the contest Toastmasters, that's their prerogative. But the contest chair determines the table topics subject at the level in which it's being competed. Michelle, you had your hand up. You're on mute. You're on mute.
I was going to ask Doretha about that 4 club area. What about the clubs that move to other divisions?
They will be in that division, like Step to Success and all of them. They will be a part of D speech contest, and they all are aware of it and agree. But they would have to be with D because they're in D now.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because that affects my group. Okay, thank you.
Now, do we have any more questions? While we're waiting for the questions, look, contests can be so much fun, but it takes a team to plan the contest. Do not try to do this on your own. It is a good way to burn yourself out and miss things. Remember the rule book. In the rule book, at the back of the rule book, there are checklists for each one of the participants' roles in the contest. It gives you verbatim what your responsibilities are. Again, we will be putting out, I'll be sending it over to Marilyn shortly, a script that was created by Sabrina Leahy from Division A. Tanya, whoop, whoop. Sabrina came up with this wonderful script last year that I asked Marilyn, can we adopt for the district, and they're going to take a look at it, and hopefully that will be the district's official script, which means that you can tweak that to whatever contest you're going to be facilitating. That will be submitted and that will be posted hopefully very soon. Very, very soon, to the point where we're going to do it before the contest season begins. So you'll have that information with you. And again, contests are a godsend. It is our way to showcase what we do to the world. It just is, guys. I want to share this story with you. For those of you who don't know, Virgil Thornton, he was also one of our district winners. He's running for Virginia delegate he's running for a Virginia delegate seat right now. Why do I share that with you? I'm not endorsing Virgil Thornton. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm sharing you with is, if you talk to Virgil, he will tell you Toastmasters has given them the confidence to run for a statewide office. And he too won at the district level in the international speech contest and got to travel with us to an international speech international convention. He didn't win, but the experience was life-changing. And second, I want to share the story, and I know, Perry, you probably know, Jock Elliott. You know Jock Elliott. Jock Elliott is a former world champion public speaking. He's a champ. Jock tried for 7 years straight to win that contest. 7 years he entered this contest. He didn't win. So 6 years he entered, he got knocked out. He entered, he got knocked out. He never stopped competing because it was important enough to him not only to win, but to compete on an international level, because he knew he had it in him. But not just him, his club, his mentors, everyone in his circle, they encourage him to be the best you can. And to be the best, you got to beat the best. Paul, what's Paula's last name, Perry, won last year? What's Paula's last name?
Oh, I can't remember.
Call if you're on the line. I apologize for forgetting your name. But Paula came from Perry's club last year, and she was outstanding. And all the participants were outstanding. Karen is here right now. She
you mean Kristen?
Oh, yeah, Kristen.
Paulding.
My bad. Was it?
Kristen Paulding. I was talking to her at the club contest. She went to the convention, and I asked her, I said, now that you've watched the finals, did it change the way you look at speech preparation? She said 1,000%. It's
a big deal, guys. If you haven't had a chance to look at some of the YouTube videos, and this past contest champion, his YouTube videos is there. Again, it's a 5 to 7 minute speech. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Watch that stuff, get inspired, and again, get involved with table topics. If you're not going to compete, participate. You don't have to have any experience to be a ballot counter or a timer. Well, we want someone with experience to be a timer. But for the most part, with just 2 timers there, we can have one that's totally inexperienced and another who's experienced to lead the way. But don't be shy from involving yourself in club contests. They are a game changer. And again, it shares what we do to the world. And again, I have another training that I like to have for area directors and division directors for how to put butts in the seats at a contest. But that's a training for another day. Any questions before we begin? Yes.
Hey, Charles.
Yes, ma'am.
It's Carol. Actually, I went to the international convention as well. Kristen and I were both there. I actually I took your advice. I was a helping hands person and got, a little discount there, which was certainly helpful. But the best thing about helping hands was it kind of forced me, and I got to learn more. And I also, the things I volunteered for, one was the world championship, obviously, to get the dignitaries in or whatever. And then Kristen and I sat in like row 5. I mean, we could touch the winners or touch the speakers. We had a great position, and it was fascinating because she and I both, it was so funny. We were talking about, you could only see one set of semifinals, but the 2 guys in our group, 1, 1, and 2. So we saw Sabi at the semi, and the gentleman that came in second both, move over to the world championship. But I agree with her. It's a lot more in the presentation style and exuberance and how you present whatever story or information you want to share. It's a thing. It was fascinating to watch. So
It's an
recommend it.
experience.
Yeah,
It's
it
an
is.
experience, guys. It's an experience. And think about it. They're Toastmasters. And many of them started off being, some of them are still introverts. Some of them started off saying, you know what? Like, I think the third place winner, I think he was quoted as saying he didn't even know what a Toastmaster contest was, but someone asked him to do it. And he did it anyway. Now look at him. He won third place. And that story is not isolated to just them. It happens over and over and over and over again. Now, you may say to yourself, you know what? It's okay where I am. But I want you to read this. I want you to let it sink in. The challenge of being okay is it's okay. Well,
You're cutting in and out, Charles.
It's not
freezing up.
okay.
Charles, you're
It's
cutting in
not
and out.
okay.
We lost
Be
you
the
from the
best
beginning.
version you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Try it again.
Oh, wow.
I think we can all read it.
Quote. Yeah, you can read it. I'm not gonna read it for you. All right, this concludes this presentation, guys. I hope you got something out of it. That was a lot of information for 1 hour. I'm not going to go into the weeds of all the rules and all that stuff. Everyone has the capacity to read the rule book. It's not that much to read. It's 32 or 34 pages. Most of that information does not even pertain to us. It talks about the world champion public speaking rules and all that does not pertain to you. So it's a very easy read. It is small font. Put it on your laptop or something to make it bigger so you can see it in clarity, but understand it. And as we end, guys, remember, speech contests are our connections to the world. Even if you're not familiar on how to do it, the district team, we're here for you to help you. We will help you. Chances are we'll be there. I'm not going to fulfill a role for you, but we will help you in all that we can do. Okay, so don't be shy. Don't say, well, we don't know what to do. We don't have anybody that's interested. Talk it up. Talk it up. Make it sound as though it's a big deal. Make it an event and be the best version of you can be. Because there's some people in our organization, once they found out that we have a speech contest component in Toastmasters, they will join just for that. I'm telling you, we've heard the stories. It happens. Any more questions before we close out? It is 8 o'clock and we're going to close out at 8. Doretha, did you have anything else to close this out?
Just that the program quality director had technical problems and she could not rejoin, so she apologized for that. That's all. And thank you all for participating tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Marilyn was on here earlier, but she couldn't get a video to show, and then she couldn't get on at all. So listen, thank you for being here. Remember, reach out to us. We're not experts, but we know more than the average person. We can help you. And contests are a big deal. Don't shy away from them. They can be a game changer. And if you allow it to, it will change your life. On that note, peace out, guys. Thank you for being here. It is 8 o'clock and we're done. Boop. Gavel dropped.
Thanks,
Thank
Charles.
you, Charles.
All right. See you all.
Hey, Charles, my favorite gotcha was always you've got a tie in your speech contest. You picked up the